Okay.
Okay. Good evening. It is March 23rd, 2022. It's 6:19 p.m. and I convene the public hearing for the
Oh,
PD.
public hearing will be at 6:30. So you have
Okay.
like 10 minutes of business you can
Okay, erase that part. We'll do it over again.
do.
Okay. It is 6:19, March 23rd, 2020. And I now open the meeting of the CDAC. I will call the roll. Brandy Brown.
Here.
Susan Bucci. She's here. Ebony Hatto.
Here.
Deborah Hogan. Justin McGregor. Kenya Middleton. Kenya's here. I
Yeah,
think.
I'm here. I'm sorry, my voice is off.
problem.
I'm here.
No problem. Michelle O'Loughlin.
Here.
And I'm Mary Ann Callahan. Before we go to the minutes, which is the first item on our agenda, we wanted to talk about what our procedure will be for this meeting. Usually we do 5-minute presentations. Sometimes we allow another few minutes for questions and answers, and sometimes we don't. Does anyone have any kind of idea which one we should use this week?
I think we should do the 5 minutes and then question and answer immediately.
Okay, so
after.
five minutes for question and answer and 5 minutes for
Yeah.
presentations? Okay.
Yeah.
Steve, can you be our timekeeper?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. So we are now looking at the February 23rd minutes. Are there any changes or amendments to those minutes?
No, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of
Yeah.
March 13th
February
second.
23rd.
or February. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, seconded by Sue. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions. And now for the minutes of the March 9th meeting. Any corrections or amendments?
No,
May I have a motion to approve
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
and a second?
Aye.
I think it was Kenya.
Second.
This is
Okay.
Kenya, sorry.
Okay, no problem.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
And abstentions. So the minutes are approved. And we will, in 8 minutes, we will begin our public hearing.
So what I'll probably end up doing for the public hearing is I'll keep adding people. Anyone can join at any time, but as soon as the speaker starts, I'll mute everyone but the speaker.
Okay,
I will need to know a name or even whatever they want to go by. Please don't let it be like Optimus Prime. I would rather them have real names, but I'll write the name down. We'll give them the 5 minutes. Now, remember, this isn't, oh, Deborah's here. This is not like the presentations. These are not, well, some agencies kind of treat it like the presentations, but these aren't supposed to be presentations where someone says, I got this program, fund it. These are supposed to be people saying what problems there are in the community. But as we know in past, when people do this, they tend to like, a lot of the stakeholders come and promote their program again. So just be aware of that, especially with your questions and answers. This will be the only public hearing you guys do. After this is the budget determination, and then the recommendation goes to the mayor and city council. The mayor will make a final budget, which that's when I do the action plan, get it published, 30 days there, and then a second public hearing with city council. So once this is done, you guys are out of the loop. Well, not out of the loop. You're out of at least this phase of it. So now's the time where you can be talking about the budgetary process if you want. You got a little bit of time, but that's all I gotta say about that.
oh, and we do want to make note of the fact that Deb Hogan is here.
Hi, Deb.
Hi, sorry about that. Thank you.
So it looks like we have 2 different public hearing people. Still got 6 minutes. So everyone knows the home, let's call it home COVID, just like we had ESG COVID and CDBG COVID. There's essentially what's a home COVID thing as well. There's a lot more public comment aspect of that, and I'm working on that right now. It also requires a housing market study. So we may end up having you guys come together for both a public hearing and then possibly a review of that and a recommendation on that budget. It's gonna be much simpler than this whole thing. And
When do you anticipate that?
I gotta get the thing to contract and supply, so I can do the RFQ for the market study. But once I kind of get that out and I get a time frame on that, then I'll start the public process aspect of it. We are hearing a lot of things that people want to do with it. So, but yeah, that's something that will involve you guys, as well as after this, probably on-site monitoring would be the next big thing. And that probably will be, I don't know, after July, because I'll be busy doing the action plan, but as soon as that's submitted, we can switch right to the on-site reviews. So, and I think a few of you joined for those last year. I don't know if they'll be virtual or in person yet. We'll feel it out and figure out which is the best.
So do you anticipate our end date for the summer to be the same, or will that change?
What do you mean end date for the summer?
Well, you know, we were going to have the final, I think, meeting in May, wasn't it?
Wait, yeah,
Until the fall.
yeah. It's basically whatever the meeting after this or the meetings after this, where you make a budget proposal, that will be the final meeting until the fall.
But will that include the home COVID?
It will not. That's going to
Okay.
occur at some other time, but I couldn't give you a time frame on that.
Oh, okay. But as soon as you'll know, you'll let
I'll
us.
let you guys. Yeah, no, I got to work in the schedule for the. Well, we're getting a lot of stuff here. Roberson, we're getting Y. That's good. Recheck 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we have 1 over quorum. So if we lose 1 person, we should be okay. Getting a lot of. So for anyone who wasn't here when I said it, once a speaker is chosen, I will literally mute every single other person, including myself, but leave the one speaker unmuted. And that way there's gonna be no interruption while they're talking. And Marianne will go over, I'm sure, the rules again.
Mhm.
Does anybody have any questions or issues with any of the current CDBG home or ESG stuff?
You're asking the members of the,
CDAC, yeah.
Not so far.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Is that a Star Wars stormtrooper in your little box?
I think so.
Cool.
I'm a big geek. This is my highly professional office.
It just shows how eclectic you are.
Yeah, I just got crap everywhere back there.
Oh, 2 minutes is a long time when you're waiting.
Yeah, well, it's a minute now.
Mhm.
Right. So I'll do, when there's 5 minutes, I'll start the timer. When it's
Okay.
running down, I'll wave my hands. And then
Okay.
let you guys determine if you want to cut someone off or encourage them to wrap it up or whatever.
Okay.
I wonder if city council does the same thing when they do public hearing.
So city council isn't meeting in person yet either?
There, it's a mix. Some of them meet and some of them do it virtually.
Uh-huh.
Two more people joining. All right, it is 6:30 on the dot.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for the public hearing and we'd like to set a few ground rules. We will give you 5 minutes to make your presentation and then the CDAC members will have another 5 minutes in which to ask you questions. And we would hope that you would keep your comments focused on the needs of the community as they relate to the block grant. So, do we have our first caller?
You may want to select someone from the list, Marianne.
The first one that logged in was the YWCA, Ephraim.
Okay. Hey, Michelle, can you call the person on the list, please? Because I will confess, I don't know how to get that on my little computer here. So if you wouldn't mind, Michelle?
He can't hear us? Just
No, I mean the list. I don't know where
Hi.
the list he's talking about. I confess my ineptitude here.
Oh, I was just watching to see who was logging on at a time. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Steve, do you have that list? I mean, can you help us out here? Can you help the chairperson who's having a terrible time? But we do have the member from the YWCA, Ephraim.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, and yourselves?
Fine, thank you.
Thank you very much for having me here. So just a brief overview. Again, my name is Ephraim Rosario. I work at the YWCA as a street outreach coordinator. And as a brief overview of the street outreach coordinator, housing advocate, basically the position is designed to facilitate and provision essential services for unsheltered homeless persons, and to establishing a collaborative community relationship to enhance a rapid access to emergency shelters, permanent housing, pantry, mental health services, substance abuse disorder services, or alcohol abuse use disorder services. Anything to assist the individual for these vulnerable populations. We locate and engage unsheltered homeless persons for the purpose of providing immediate support. And because of the contribution of Binghamton, the City of Binghamton Council, we thank you very much for everything you've done. It's allowed for us to give supplies for those individuals who are homeless, those who are hotels, try to get individuals in shelters, for those individuals that are currently still in hotels at the moment or that are unable to be housed. We work in the best that we can to at least provide services to keep them warm, or try to assist with advocating at churches to see if we can get funding from churches to help them be placed in a hotel for a couple of nights. There's also transportation services that we are doing because of what we're allotted, to DSS to advocate with them there, to landlords to go with them to see landlords if they feel they need another set of eyes, just to have somebody there to support them, or even just to bring them to their appointments to see landlords for locations. Even though at this moment in time, there's a slow process of what's going on with finding housing, we're still diligent in working with landlords with another program, being that we have rapid rehousing in our program and I'm doing street outreach. The individuals that are allowed to get rapid rehousing, individuals who have to be considered homeless through coordinated entry, which allows us to work with landlords through rapid rehousing. So we connect those individuals who are homeless right now in the shelters or in the hotels, really, and those that are outside in the streets that who are unable to be housed because of unallotted resources that we don't able to assist with. So we try our best. Um, we've been getting donations of tents that because we've been allotted monies to buy blankets and things like that, so we can give them those tents as well as blankets to keep them warm. Also, we also provide, like I said, hygiene packages, small packs of toothpaste, toothbrushes, soaps, shampoos, conditioners, non-perishable products at times, helping bring individuals to pantries so they can have food, or deliver pantry to hotels to where individuals are at. We're also assisting with looking for housing as well, more so that because of so many individuals right now, because of this pandemic that we're coming out of, hopefully, that we're able to look for more and more as possible websites with landlords. There's more individuals that we're in contact with, so we can branch out even more. So because of all the things that we're allotted, because of the city of Binghamton, we appreciate all that you're giving to us. And we've gone down about I want to say about 50 or so individual households from the last time I spoke in front of the individuals here. From 112 households, we're down to about 50 right now. So just want to say thank you very much, and hope I got everything. We appreciate it. Thank you very much from the YWCA. Any questions?
Thank you, Ephraim. Are there any questions for him? I have one quick one for you, Ephraim. The tents, where people put the tents up wherever they are, is that how that works?
Yeah, sometimes they'll have friends and family members that will allow them to live in their backyards for a bit, or if an individual has an apartment where it's a house where there's different families, the landlord will sometimes allow the individual to stay there for a couple of nights in the backyard, of course, with the permission of other tenants that are there. So with these donated tents that were given to us, we're allowed to give it to them, and they let us know if it's working, if you make sure that it's okay for use and safe. So we give them the blankets. We have headlights. I should also say that we got the headlamps that I was allotted to buy as well, so that when it's nightfall, if they're doing any reading or something. But yeah, sometimes they're at they call it rock bottom by the Susquehanna River. Sometimes they go fishing there and stuff like that. I've had an individual who was at 5 Mile Point or 5 Mile Park or something. So he puts it up and takes it down in the morning. Sometimes there's individuals by Webster Court buildings. I believe it's owned by 607 Properties. They also have a pathway down through there to the river as well. But yeah, they more or less, they do more at like family homes or friend properties, so that they've been once or twice. Please don't go somewhere where you're not supposed to go, because there could be some issues when it comes down to being on place where the police will not allow you to stay. So, but it's allotted to them and to use when it's needed.
Thank you. I think that's a new twist. Are there any other questions for Ephraim? Michelle, you're muted.
I just wondered, how many tents have you given out in this past year?
Oh, wow. So at one point, the donation came from individuals that lived, I want to say maybe Vestal. About 70 of those I had to get rid of, but I was able to keep at least 20 to 25. So the 70 that we gave to the Boys and Girls Club, which they decided to clean and still use it. So but the ones that were still in boxes are the ones that I kept. So I would say about 15, 17 that I've given. Some agencies like Truth Farm have come to see us. I've donated some to them as well because they have individuals who don't want to I want to say don't want to be they want to remain anonymous. So there are some individuals that want to remain anonymous. I ask, can I speak with them as well? And it gets with Truth Farm, they had a little difficulty. So to keep the individual, they wanted to stay anonymous, which is understandable. So because it was a donated thing that I actually keep at my house, I give it to them. Or any other agency that gets it, I ask them if, if I can speak with the individual, if I can give them any services. And so besides just the tent. So I want to be sure that the individual at least has something. So I'll also add like a, whatever I can with, if they need hygiene supplies and stuff. So blankets, but yeah, about 15, 17 about that.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Are there any
Welcome.
other questions?
Marina, this is Deborah. Can you hear me?
You're coming in very muffled, very fuzzy.
Can you hear me now?
It's a little bit better.
Just a question. Has there been any outreach to the city or towns or villages or police departments where these tents are being erected so that there's some dialogue to prevent with the individual, just so there's not I don't know how to word it. I'm honestly at loss of words, but there's some type of open dialogue or communication.
I think she's asking you if you coordinate with the local authorities with these tents so that they're aware of what's going on.
Any local authorities that call me, I do let them know that we do have these tents that are available because a lot of them do call.
What I think she's asking you is, do you reach out? Do you reach out to the police saying, we have a tent at Webster Court, or we have a tent, Rock Bottom?
Oh, to help individuals be housed?
No, to coordinate with the police so that when the police see the tent, they might think, oh, it's Ephraim's client.
I should. Thank you very much for the idea.
Okay.
I didn't think about that. I should.
Yeah, and I think that's what you were asking, Deborah. I hope so.
Yes, it is. Thank you for the paraphrase, and much better than I did.
No, it's okay. No, that's good, Ephraim. Yeah, Ephraim, you might want to think about that.
I definitely will do that tomorrow, starting that tomorrow.
Very good. Are there any other questions? If not, we thank you very much, Ephraim, for what you do and for coming tonight.
Thank you very much for having me. Everyone, have a great night.
You too. You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Steve, I think our next person on the list is Jesse Stone.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way of tracking when people logged in.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be.
I'm just going as they are listed here on my screen. So
Okay.
Jesse?
Can you hear me?
Okay. 3 times over. Yeah, you seem to have an echo.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Turn off your
Okay, can you hear me now?
turn off your computer volume. That might be where the feedback's coming from if you're using a headset and a microphone. You there?
Can you hear me this way?
There's a little bit of an echo, but not too bad. You're just getting feedback
Okay.
from your computer.
Sorry about that. I can't get the audio through the computer.
That's okay, Jesse, you can go ahead. I think we can hear you well enough.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I missed if there were introductions. Because I couldn't hear any of your audio initial.
Oh, okay, Jesse, let me, I'm Mary Ann Callahan, I'm the chair, and I just want to say that you have 5 minutes to tell us your concerns and your issues as they relate to the block grant. And there will be a 5-minute period of questions asked by the group. And you're coming in fine, so please go ahead.
I'm gonna ask you if I can try to go out and come back in later. And I understand there's an order to everyone, but I'm still getting the echo.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. If you
Actually,
do that, we
talk
will,
coherently to you.
okay, we'll talk to you later then.
Okay, sorry about that.
Don't apologize. It's okay. Thank you. Okay. I think Adiola is next.
Yeah, this is Adiola, someone from the YWCA. Ephraim and Sean will be speaking on our behalf. Ephraim's already talked, but Sean will be talking about the shelter coming up.
Oh, okay. So you're here to listen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep,
all
just
right.
listening for that.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Preston Evans?
Good evening, everybody. Excuse me. My name is Preston Evans. I am the Vice President of Development and Donor Relations for Achieve. I thank you for all the past funding that you have through these community development block grant funds supplied us. We traditionally every year apply for these funds for our children's summer rec program. This is a 6-week recreational program that we operate from the beginning of July through mid-August each summer. In a traditional non-COVID year, this program is available to about 110 students from Broome County, about 40 of whom are from the city of Binghamton. In this past year, we had to, for social distancing, limit that number to 65 students, of which I believe about 20 were city of Binghamton residents. This program is our oldest program. It's kind of the foundational program for our organization when it was founded back in 1952. It's designed to fill the educational gap for children that's kind of known as the summer slide. It's a loss of learning that occurs while children are not in school for the summer. But studies show that the average student loses about 1 month's worth of learning over summer break, whereas children with developmental disabilities and who come from low income households lose substantially more. And it takes a lot longer for them to regain those educational missed opportunities. So the program is open to students ages 5 through 21. It's our only program that we offer at Achieve for non-adults. And it's for children that are identified as having a disability through the Office for People with Developmental Disabilities that have an individualized education plan or an IEP or a 504 plan in school. So the program, like I said, it's designed to limit the summer slide that occurs with students who are disabled during the summer. And they do this, it's kind of learning through fun. It's kind of all hidden in a variety of different activities, gross and fine motor skills development, social interaction, physical activity, drama, music. The summer usually ends with a big talent show where the students kind of work together or even themselves just to present for this as part of this talent show. Again, like I said, this is our oldest program and it fills that gap that occurs in the summer. So the other one kind of unique aspect of this program is that there is a work study program built into it. So students that are ages 14 to 21, we actually just opened up our applications for this last week. but they get the opportunity to work for 1 hour each day and then participate in program activities. So they are hands-on involved in developing the activities for the next day with program counselors. And then, they're earning a paycheck, they get paid for it, and they are just learning valuable vocational skills in the process. So every year, the funding that we apply for here, we are heavily regulated and are required to maintain a 1-to-3 counselor to student ratio. And so we have to hire the staff to be able to bring in 110 students every summer. So the funding request as for fiscal year 48 is again to help offset the cost of payroll expenses related to our summer program counselors to make sure that we can offer this programming to the community. Any questions?
Thank you, Preston. Are there any questions? Doesn't seem to be, Preston. We thank you for your time and your presentation.
Thank you. Thank you again for the support and for the consideration.
Take care. Belinda?
Hi, this is Belinda. My name is Belinda Ellison. I work for the YWCA. I'm a residential assistant to the case manager, but I'm training to be the new shelter case manager for the YWCA. This is my first meeting. I was asked to join this meeting for the first time to watch and listen and see how the meeting goes. So I am prepared for future meetings like this one.
It's good to meet you, Belinda. We look forward to seeing you next year, next fiscal year then. Good luck with the new job.
Thank you so much.
Belinda, before you leave, are you okay if I don't include you on the submitted action plan comments, as you weren't really making a comment or supporting a particular program or anything like that? Is that okay with you?
No, that's fine.
Okay, all right, okay. Yeah, if anyone doesn't know this, in the action plan, I have to put so-and-so's name and what they're supporting or whatever. So everyone's comments are basically given to HUD.
Our next presenter is Roberson.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. I'm Michael Grasso. I'm the executive director of Roberson Museum and Science Center. Roberson is a museum of art, history, and science. We also house most of the Broome County Historical Society's objects, which a lot of people don't know. So all of their three-dimensional things are housed in Roberson, either within the museum proper or in our vaults. We welcome thousands of school students every year, as well as host summer camps, spring break camps, winter break camps. And we also offer a free admissions program as well for people who cannot afford the cost of admissions. Those are all prepaid by donors. In the past, this program has provided some funding for historic preservation as well as for community safety. And I really just wanted to jump on, say thank you for the prior support, and just make sure that everyone knows how much we appreciate it and that we recognize this is an important part of our community. And I can answer any questions about the museum or whatever else, if anybody has anything that they want to ask.
Thank you very much. Are there any other questions for Michael?
Michael, this is Ben Cabot. How you doing?
I bet it's good. Are we hosting the Orchid Society this year?
Yes, yes. I believed somebody was in contact with you, but we are going to be on the television on April 12th, and we're going to be talking up the Roberson Museum. I think that's a Friday, whatever the Friday is, might be the 15th. But we're going to be promoting you in the Orchid Show that we're having. You're kind enough to host for us.
Fabulous. Happy to have you.
Great.
Are there any other questions from the CDAC members for Michael? Now we know there's going to be something with orchids coming up. So Michael, thank you so very much for your time and what you do. And we're awfully glad you're there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have a caller, last four digits 5453.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they unmute. I do ask them to unmute.
Okay.
Oh, they're unmuted.
Caller, you may go ahead.
That's me.
Never mind. Sorry. Sorry, Sue. Caller 6426, last four digits.
I did ask to unmute. Let's try that again. Make sure that they got it.
Can you unmute them? Because they might not know how to figure it out on their phone.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't unmute a phone number. It doesn't, I can ask to unmute, but I can't physically unmute them. What I can do about it. Oh, well,
Okay.
all right, probably go to the next one then, Marianne.
Okay.
In case we can figure out what's going on with that. Oh, wait, 6426, was that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, they just unmuted.
Okay. Caller, you may go ahead.
Hi, this is Sean Johnston, case manager for the YWCA. First of all, thank you so much for this platform allowing us to speak. We greatly appreciate it. You all have met Belinda. She will be replacing me here soon. Sad to say. But just to give you a little insight how our shelter is going. Last year we housed over 13 women and single moms with their children. I'm almost positive we're going to go above and beyond that number this year. As you all know, we expanded our shelter by 9 beds. I honestly did not think we would fill those beds and keep them filled. It has exceeded my expectations. Sadly to say, our shelter has been full the past at least 3 months at capacity. And because of Code Blue, we do offer additional cots. So we do exceed our number of 21 beds. At times we do have women that come in, we're at capacity. We find them a soft, comfy chair, put them in our library to sleep. Just always remembering housing first, allowing these women to get off the streets, even if it's just for a single night. The struggle for us is a big struggle is finding housing for these women, when they come in and moving them forward in life, especially those with mental health issues. We do have a couple women right now who have been with us 3 months. It's a long process doing a SPOA application, applications for opportunities for Broom, and we have our outreach worker, Ephraim, as well as an RA who possibly will go with them to these appointments because they don't understand the complexity of the questions being asked on the application, or just in general meeting somebody and working through all of that process. It's quite tiring just for us as caseworkers to do that. I can't imagine being on the other end and what they're going through, but it's a true struggle. Safe, affordable housing is much needed, and that's our goal, to get them safe, affordable housing. Right now, we are in the hiring phase, which is hard because the field that we work in is challenging, So to get qualified workers in who really become part of our team, part of our family, it's an ongoing battle. I'm not that long-winded. So once again, I thank you for this platform and all that the city does for us. We greatly appreciate it. And your continued support would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sean. Are there any questions for Sean? Doesn't seem so. Thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you, and you're welcome.
Take care. Ben Cabot?
Hello. I was just composing something to send to Stephen, but as long as you call my name, I'll say something. Well, I have an apartment that I tore down to studs, the second floor apartment. And then we had a flood, and then my daughter got married, so I had no money to put this thing back together. Is there any HUD money that can assist with putting this back together and making it a habitable apartment?
Steve, I think that's a question we can't field.
Yeah, so depending on the nature of are you the owner occupant of the structure?
I'm the owner. I live right next door.
But you don't live in the structure itself?
No, I do not.
Okay. Unfortunately, the city doesn't have any landlord capital project assistance programs. They're difficult to do with HUD, with home and CDBG money because of certain regulatory requirements for those.
Right.
We used to do a 2-family structure improvement, but we don't do that anymore because I think there were some weird shenanigans going on with it. So generally, we only assist with rehabs of owner-occupied buildings, single family. And then for rental rehabs, that's usually done through the home money and what are called CHODOs, which are agencies that will take a building that has 5 units and they'll rehab them for low-income households. So nothing, unfortunately, for private entities, unfortunately.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will make a note though, and I'll put that since it's sort of like a request, is funding towards landlord type projects. So if something does pop up, we'll have identified that as something that someone has put an interest into in the action plan public hearing part of it. So
I'm on your email list. That's how I found out about this this meeting.
okay.
But thanks for your response.
Thank you.
Steve, this is Deborah. I was wondering if the Mr. Cabot's council person may be able to work with him and see if there's any assistance that might be an appropriate referral.
Certainly, you know, do you know who your council person is, Mr. Cabot?
No, I'm ashamed to say I do not.
Okay, what district are you in?
Tremont Avenue, probably 27.
I don't know districts that well. Let's see.
Joe Burns.
Is it Burns? Okay.
Oh, that's right. Now I remember. I voted for him. Thank you.
Thank you.
I apologize. This is Preston Evans with the Chief again. Did somebody have a follow-up question while I got called away by my kids for my laptop? So
No, Preston, I think you're okay.
okay. All right, thank you. I
letting
came
us
back to a
know.
request to unmute, so I wasn't sure.
Not a problem. Not a problem, Preston.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye. Steve, I'm not showing anyone else, is there?
Let me see. I got Jesse's iPhone. Is there a Jesse? That's not one of our CDAC members.
Jessie said she was just listening, I think.
Okay.
Called on her, I think.
Okay.
I am here.
I am here. This is
Oh,
Jessie.
Jessie, yes, we were coming back to you. My memory, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yes, if you have time, I wasn't sure
Of
if you
course
would.
we do, of course we do. Please forgive me.
Well, I'm so sorry. I don't know why my laptop was being disgruntled this evening. And I can turn myself, I have not used my cell phone to do this in a very long time. So, but thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak. Is this when you want me to speak now before I just start rambling away? Okay. So first, I'd like to thank the city for being a tremendous support over the years for our Medicare counseling programs. In reality, it's not so easy to find support for aging support programs, even though over 25% of our community is considered a senior. And it is a large growing demographic, and it's projected to become an even larger growing demographic. Our Medicare counseling program works with close to 3,000 people a year from all walks of life, but the city support is particularly important because it provides us support to do a lot of outreach to City of Binghamton residents, many of whom are in a position where they might have to go without medications. They might be choosing not to go to their doctor enough. They because the cost of their health care they believe is just simply too expensive for them. So they're going without it. And especially if they're lower income in the first place, they likely have long-term chronic health issues. So they need to be getting the services. And what they don't realize is if they don't come to us, there often are savings programs that they can access. And our counselors, I have a wonderful group of counselors. I've got 1.5 staff people and then 16 volunteer counselors. They are considered peer counselors, almost all of them with the exception of one qualified for Medicare themselves. And so they understand the lives of the individuals that they're counseling and are in their own position. So they go through all the options that are available for an individual based on their individual healthcare needs. And there are a number of different programs that an individual may qualify for, discounted drug programs in particular. We're very lucky in this community that we have both Lourdes and UHS that have wonderful discount assistance programs for medications that people are not aware of. There's other programs like New York State Epic that many people qualify, but they're not aware of. A lot of these programs that people can qualify for are fairly hard to navigate. And they really do need someone often to walk them through. It's not just a level of education. They're complicated programs. And sometimes you're not just dealing with us as an agency, you might be dealing with Department of Social Services to figure out how to navigate through. So there are a lot of people that end up going without it. So our outreach is particularly important. Because of COVID, we had to step back from that. We weren't able to get into low-income housing sites. So that's one of the things that is a top priority for our staff. And in fact, I've been actively looking to secure additional support from local foundations to do additional outreach this year because it was backburnered for so long with COVID, just out of necessity. So that's my quick little update on where the program stands, if there are questions.
Jessie, for new members who may not know, can you identify your agency?
Oh, I'm sorry. We're Action for Older Persons. And we've been in the community since about since the 60s. We're just a small little nonprofit. We have all of our programs serve older adults. They all, our largest program is our Medicare counseling program, which the City of Binghamton is one of our funders for. We get money from Office for Aging, which would basically provide less than a full-time person. So we receive funding from a number of other sources, including the City of Binghamton, to provide the services we do. And compared to other counties across the state, we provide far more of our local residents with this type of service than other communities do. And it's in large part because we have partners like the City of Binghamton that allow us to do that.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Jesse? Doesn't seem so, Jesse, and we thank you for your presentation.
Michelle had her hand up.
Oh, I'm
Michelle had,
sorry. I don't see Michelle.
but she's muted, it looks like.
Oh, thank you. And this
Yeah,
is on your
unmute,
phone you're
Michelle. There
doing
you
this.
are.
This is fantastic.
Jesse, I was just wondering, could you repeat the number of people that you served last year?
Yeah, we serve about 3,000 people each year through our counseling program.
Okay, great, thank you.
Any other questions for Jessie? Who's done very well on her iPhone, seriously. I think that's it, Jessie. I don't think there are any more questions. Thank you for your time and for what you do for the community.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks.
Thank you, everybody.
I believe that is everybody. It's up to the CDAC if you wish to keep it going and holding it open. And then whenever you wish to close it, you'll need a motion and then a vote.
What does everyone think? Should we give it a couple more minutes just in case, just to say that we tried to make sure that we got everybody? Would that be a 5? Well, I don't know, Steve. 5 more minutes, 7:15?
You can also just close the public hearing too. It's up to you guys, however you want to do it.
Any feedback? What do you guys think we should do? Should we close the public hearing at this point?
I think we should.
Okay,
I recommend that as well. The time was set at 6:30.
okay, that's fair. All right, then we will close this section of the public hearing.
You'll need to have a
We need a motion.
motion.
I make the motion.
I second.
Okay, Deborah seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Okay. The public hearing is closed.
All right. Thank you all callers. You're welcome to stay and watch the fascinating rest of the CDAC meeting.
Of which there is what?
There's no other items on the meeting, but you guys can talk about the next steps, absolutely.
Well, our next meeting is scheduled for,
It would be in 2 weeks. So you're looking at the 6th of April.
which will
What do
be
you-
virtual.
Yes, it's still gonna be virtual.
Okay.
So what I will do, let me see here. I will send out the blank spreadsheet with last year's numbers. And then I'll have in there like little red boxes. Now we updated it last year where there was a page for, it's an Excel. Is everybody comfortable with Excel?
Yeah,
If you ever need
Yes.
help with Excel, call me. I used to do like help videos for it. There'll be a main page. There'll be certain red, so all you're gonna do is put numbers in red boxes. Some are calculated. So there's a spreadsheet for like service programs. And then there'll be a spreadsheet for capital programs. And I think I do a separate spreadsheet for ESG programs as well. So all of those will have red boxes. You'll put numbers in for agencies you want to fund. I'll put all the ones for agencies that put in applications. I will try to remember if the mayor's office specifically said if they wanted certain programs or not. So you'll have that. I'll double check with Megan. Mayor's numbers. Other than that, it'll be up to you to make a determination. You can add things. There's nothing wrong with adding things, especially if you're seeing something in the community. Whoa, I almost ended it for everybody. Sorry, I was trying to quote my thing. So you can add things, you can add items. If you're not sure, throw it in there. We'll talk about it. We'll determine if it would fit somewhere else or if it's eligible or ineligible. Don't be afraid. Be an advocate for what you're wanting the CDBG home and ESG money to be used for. I'll have minimums that we have to spend, and then I'll have the maximums as well. So it should be fairly user friendly. But if you feel uncomfortable with it and it's just weird, come up with your own, some numbers of your own, just on a piece of paper, bring it in, and when we do the virtual meetings, and we'll work on the spreadsheet with everybody's input going on at once. So if it just gets weird, don't worry about it. We can talk at the next meeting as is. But go ahead and start be thinking of the numbers you want to put in, programs you want to support, activities you want to support. And I'll get that to you guys, and then I'll get all the other CDAC stuff. So if you cannot vote by that meeting, hopefully we can come to or you guys can come to a decision. If not, we'll do another meeting 2 weeks later, or if we want to do one even a day or two later, if everyone feels like they want to get this done quickly. So that will be the next step. Does anyone have any questions about the money, or do you have questions about an idea for a program, or questions about anything like that?
I have a question. What about the money that was earmarked for the Columbus Community Center, that pool of money from our last time?
So that has, so right now, between last year and the year before, a sum total of $1.1 million is earmarked for the Columbus Park Youth Center. The mayor, my understanding is the bid came in way over.
Right.
And they've even tried to mess with the bids, like to do a partial pay, partial this, or do it in stages. And it just looks like unless a ton more money falls on, out of the sky, we're not going to be able to do what they had envisioned. It looked really good. I like the plan that they had.
Hey, Michelle, Steve, I asked that question to Megan at the last meeting. And I do have a question. The more I thought about it, she said, no, they were meeting at City Council that night. We had our meeting.
Yeah,
they were going to earmark it to buy a fire truck.
Yes.
Well, how can you use that money to buy a fire truck?
See, fire trucks are eligible under CDBG.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the one. There's certain things that you would not expect, but like fire trucks and emergency vehicles and emergency equipment are eligible under CDBG.
That's great that you can, but the more I thought about it afterwards, I thought it just didn't make sense to me. I'm glad. Thank you, Michelle, for bringing that up again.
And just so you guys are aware, it's not like they just take the thing. We actually had we put a notice in the paper letting legal notice letting people know the money is going to be pulled from that onto this fire truck project. 30 days of public comments. City council may do a public hearing. I'm not sure, that's up to their prerogative, but no one's communicated anything to me about any issues with the fire truck so far. So this becomes an amendment to the last 2 years. Well, it's gonna be last year's action plan. So it's not really, I mean, it's unfortunate because there's not much they can do with that. Now they're still leaving 200,000 in the Columbus Park. I think in Columbus Park, they're still leaving. Are they? Oh, no. It's all going to be used up. Yep.
Of course it is.
Well,
Steve, just a quick question. I'm usually one that is spot on to these, but I completely missed it, as I believe Sue did as well. Is the comment period still over? Still over?
For the conversion of the money from the Columbus Park to the fire truck?
Yes.
Yeah, that's still open. If you have a comment on it, send me an email, and that will be part of the comments for
Absolutely. Thank you.
support or pushback against that. So.
And how long is that comment period open?
It was 30 days, and I think the cutoff is, I think, the night they vote, which will be next Wednesday, I think, or maybe tomorrow. Get it to me as soon as you can.
Okay, thank you.
If it's a few days late, I'm not gonna, say no. I mean, and then this is not just because you guys are CDAC members. If members of the public give me a comment, 1 or 2 days later, I will still accept it and put it in. That's not a big deal. But yeah, if you have comments for or against that, let me know. I mean, that's part of the thing.
Yeah, it just seemed, just to have a brief open discussion. If I'm understanding the news story I saw, the former Urban League is now going to be the YW's daycare center. So that just seems like a perfect mix, with the incubator there. I just see so many collaborations. It's just a shame to lose this.
Yeah, and it wasn't just, my understanding, it wasn't just a one-off. It wasn't like they got one bid and they said it's too much and ran away. They sat down, worked it, said, what if we remove this? What if we remove that? And it was just construction materials, that period of time just was too much. So unfortunately, I don't know if they're gonna come back to it in the future. I hope they do. Because we have a plan for it. We have a design, as far as I know. So, and that's been paid for with CDBG. So that's, the plan's done. And I think they're leaving a little bit in for additional Columbus Park improvements, but yeah, the vast majority is getting pulled out for the new fire truck.
Thank you for clarifying.
Are there any other issues or concerns that we should talk about before we adjourn? If not, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I make the motion that we adjourn our meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Unanimous.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening, everybody.
Thank
Hey,
you.
guys.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye now.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, excellent. Okay, I'll deal with this tomorrow. Let me close everything and then let me end this.